Hello everyone, welcome back. A little something about myself. I've completed my undergraduation back in India in the year 2020, and then as a continuation I started a 9 to 5 job, like a corporate job. And then while working I've realized that if I am going to work a 9 to 5 on a daily basis, how about I earn a bit bigger bucks, you know what I mean? So that is when I started looking into the whole masters in the United States process. And of course I did go through the consultancy, but then I had to make sure that each and every step is fulfilled thoroughly. And while working I've also given the competitive exams like the GRE and the IELTS, wherein I scored a 312 in the GRE and a 7.5 band in the IELTS exam. So that's how I was able to secure myself spot in San Jose State University. There are like a lot of beginners mistakes that everybody tends to do because it's like a completely new country and we kind of don't know the rules to play with and rules to not. I thought this video will be helpful to at least one person who used to think like me. So the first point, deciding to pursue masters in a whole new country, whether it be the United States or the United Kingdom or Australia, Korea. There are so many countries where you can, opt a master's degree as long as you have 20 to 50 lakhs to just throw off and you have your degree in your name. It's not that hard to get a degree, but it's hard if you do not know why you're doing it. You know how in the movies one of the partners, whether the girl or the guy, generally the girl moves to the United States and the guy follows her in pursuit of love. That's not how it works here. It's no movie with a happy ending where you get to meet the girl and then you just end up all together, la 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 la. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not a movie with a happy ending where the girl and the guy gets together and bang. I've seen so many people who have opted masters just because their peers are doing it. Like at least 50% of my own class are here in the United States. If we do wanna take a get together, we don't have to go all the way back to my hometown. We can just meet in Texas or I don't know. We can just name a place and we can meet right here than back in India, because the number of people who are staying here are so high. Just sit down and think about it. If you do really want to pursue masters, if that is what you really need in your life, while thinking about this decision, make sure that you consider savings, your parents' income, your lifestyle, how comfortable you are with your life right now. And personally I feel like instead of putting everything on your parents, it's just good to have a little savings on your own and then start it. I mean, everything that I'm discussing about in this video is my personal opinion. There is no right and no wrong when it comes to the journey you undergo, but this is completely my take. Here in US, you make connections, not friends. I know the saying does not go exactly how it says. Of course, we do want to have our own friends, but then making good connections, like somebody who could refer you into a good company or somebody who could give you a good pep talk on how things work here and what you should be doing right now, what you should be doing after 3 months of you coming to the US, after 6 months of you coming to US, in your final semester, during your internship time, during your OPT extension period. These might be some of the keywords which you have never even heard of. So having a mentor, I could say, is very important. And this mentor, he doesn't have to be somebody who's old. He can be a good senior or a classmate of yours or even a junior of yours who has pursued masters before you in particular university. So knowing how things work here is very important. You can even take my personal scenario. Back when I was in India, I used to just mind my own business. Through my undergraduation course, through my schooling, through my just even through my office I would have only one colleague. So that's the kind of a person I am. So is it wrong to be that way? Of course not, but it would be more beneficial to have, you know, a set of friends whom you can ask a certain set of things, more than having one friend and completely depending on nobody and yourself for whether it be information or just anything. Do not be that Cinderella who's waiting for her Prince Charming to come and make friends with you. You should go out and socialize as much as possible, because it's not just about making connections, but then you don't want to catch that, oh my god, I'm so alone in this whole new country kind of vibe, right? So you do want to have some classic go-to people of yours. As soon as you start the university, while you are searching for your part-time, also start applying for your internship. Getting an internship or a co-op while doing your masters will not only help you with, you know, not to have to take the part-time and just concentrate on your resume and your career side of the things, but also helps you get a good full-time job in a better scenario. The main reason most of the international residents would opt doing this part-time is just like we are almost taking a whopper amount of 40 to 50 lakhs INR back in India, included the loan and savings and pretty much everything. Not everybody wants to put the whole 40-50 lakh burden on their parents, and they just kind of try to be more individualistic and independent about this. But in this scenario, what happens is, back in India, I don't think these people have any prior experience of working like that physical work. Like, you don't go out and make coffee or make burritos or make a pizza like 8 hours a day for your customers, right? That's not the kind of work we have been doing back in India. This adds too much of pressure into your everyday life, especially for girls, because it's like a lot of manual work that we have to do when it comes to the part-times. And also, it's just kind of so hard to manage both the part-time and the coursework, the assignments, the projects. It's just, the list is never ending. I know how you're gonna debate, like, what do you know about the financial scenarios that we have to undergo, or what do you know about the rent? For example, San Jose is like the second most expensive city in the whole US, and I have to bear a house here in San Jose with my own money. Or even if it comes down to the dormitories, it is way more expensive. And there are people who are like 6 to 8 people staying in a 2 BHK, that is like 3 people per room. Or there are some people who even stay in the living room, like in the hall. I know the scenarios could get way adverse, but then it is very important to make sure that you concentrate more on your coursework, your assignments, your internship experiences more than on your part-time, because that shit is going to pay only for today. The part-time you are working for is gonna pay only for this month, only for today. But then if you could actually put efforts into something that's useful towards the coursework, it's gonna add into your resume, and that's what's more important for us. At the end of the day, the full-time is gonna make your efforts pay. My favorite part-time that I got to work of all these was being a Starbucks barista, because it was like I used to have early morning shifts, and it continues for like straight 8 hours. Like, after the work, right, I just used to continue to my classes instead of going back to my room to change and everything. So yeah, it just used to feel so cool that I just completed my part-time, and then I'm like get my classwork done. I just used to feel like one of those K-drama leads where I'm like, you know, like the poor K-drama lead. Yeah, but then what I realized was, while I was doing my on-campus in the university, I have become like super thin and very malnutrition, because I was always under this continuous stress that I have this 4-hour shift or this 8-hour shift that I have to pull. And sometimes the shifts would go on until 1 a.m. I know how everybody is like, yeah, of course I can pull the 4 courses and still work on the part-time. Like, I'm smart, what do you know? But I'm like, It's not about being smart here, it's about being mentally and physically prepared as a whole, because this is not the lifestyle we are used to back in India, right? Especially in the first few months, it's just a lot to adjust. I don't know about physically, but emotionally, you wouldn't really be ready for all this, because it's like a complete change of scenario. It's not your old pond where you get to play your tantrums and be like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have it my way. No, right now it's like you're in the bigger pool and you gotta work your bread. The roommate scenario. I know back in India it's just you and your family. So when it comes to your family, you get to throw your own tantrums and you just get to be you, and they still accept you the way you are because they've been seeing you like, I don't know, all your life, right? But when it comes to the roommates, and especially if it is like somebody with different languages or different cultures as a whole, whether it comes to the food habits, it is very important to adjust along with your roommates, because sharing room with a stranger is harder than it seems, because every day you wake up, they are the first person whom you are gonna look at. So it is always good to have good dynamics with your roommates. In a very smoothly going roommate scenario, you just get to, make your meals together, and if one of you falls sick, the other one will take care of you. It's like having each other's back. It is very important to have a good relationship with your roommate, because that dynamics can duck your mind through the day for a few months continuously. Coming to the party culture, I know a good number of people who have started drinking or things of that kind only after coming here, not to feel FOMO. I mean, I personally feel like you can always go to a party and not drink. So yeah, it is totally up to you whether you drink or not drink. So there is this social norm where they're like, you have to grab a beer or you have to take a shot in order to be in a party. It doesn't work that way. You can always make a few friends and come out of it without, getting drunk. The final point that I want to make through this video is that it's hard. Master's life as a whole is kind of hard, but the experience is completely worth it. You get to earn way better once you have the certification in your hands, and there's gonna be a lot of growth happening to you mentally too. In some scenarios, I did observe how it could just get too much or like a lot to bear with. It is a good experience as a whole. This doesn't mean you have to be in a shade for 2 years continuously, and then once you're out of it, you're all the main lead. It doesn't work it doesn't have to be that way. It is a bit hard, but then you can just, in a few months you'll get used to it, and with good friends and, I don't know, good food, it is all gonna be fine. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am thinking of creating a series on this master's talk, and I'm gonna call it the Master Talk because it's cool. And if you do want to continue watching more of this content, and if you do have any particular questions that you want to ask, you can just shoot down some questions into the comments, and I'm gonna cover them in the upcoming videos.